Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for this mindfulness-based occupational therapy advanced certificate program orientation. My name is Rochelle McLaughlin, and I have had the opportunity to teach at San Jose State University since 2004, and I went on to work at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center for several years. And while I knew, having left San Jose State University with my degree in occupational therapy in 2000, I really felt like I had a really strong skill set in my degree as an occupational therapist. But I soon realized that there was some skill set that I really lacked that I started to search as to what that was related to my capacity to be in healthy relationship to such profound human suffering, as we witness as healthcare practitioners and occupational therapists really working on the front lines of such incredible human suffering. So I began a PhD in humanistic psychology, and I came upon Dr. John Kabat-Zinn's work out of the University of Massachusetts Medical School Center for Mindfulness. And I began to integrate those practices in my life that were, very transformational for me. And I began to, really, as I was integrating it more and more in my own personal life, I was bringing it more into my patient care and with colleagues and to the teams that I was working with. And when I started teaching at San Jose State University, by 2008, I had asked the department if I could develop a course, a mindfulness-based OT course, or to teach MBSR. And they invited me to teach mindfulness-based stress reduction for the faculty. And the faculty, saw the value in and the connections between the enhancement of occupational therapy by integrating mindfulness into the profession and what we learn. So they gave me the opportunities to develop a course and to, see what the feedback was. And so I did in 2010, and I've been teaching that course in a variety of different iterations, but really back to really teaching this very specific curriculum, mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is really quite extraordinary. I've also, in the meantime, have had several, people from all over the world, approaching me to see if I had any other type of program for people that weren't, master's level students within the Department of Occupational Therapy, getting their OT degree. And so they were hoping for a kind of a hybrid program, not one that's as extensive as MBSR as it is extraordinary. And at the same time, people wanting to really begin to focus on integrating mindfulness into their healthcare practice. So that was sort of the planting of the seeds for this certificate program. And I'm just thrilled that it's launching, and I'm glad that you're here today to hear a bit about the program. And if you have any questions at the end, you can feel free to email me if I don't get to everything today. And my email address is rochelle.mclaughlin@sjsu.edu. So welcome to the Mindfulness-Based OT Certificate Orientation. See if I can get this. There we go. So the foundation of the curriculum, of course, is mindfulness practice. These are specific, formal and informal practices that we will be building a daily personal mindfulness practice, which will be the core for each course within the certificate program. We will be doing this in a community of a small cohort that will, foster, deep relationships with one another and collaborative partnerships and practice partnerships, and a community of people from all over the world who will have a common intentionality and a vision for integrating mindfulness into their work. So each course will include, of course, formal guided meditations and core practices. There will be didactic teaching and online gatherings, small group mentorships and practice partnerships. It will include journaling, reflection, and inquiry experiences. The curriculum is, there are 5 courses. 4 of them are online and they're in a semester-long format. And there's one, which is OCTH 209, which is a 5-day residential retreat here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I do want you to know, if you are, outside of the United States and you don't feel like you would be able to make it, maybe you're coming from Australia or somewhere, China or somewhere, then I can work with you one-on-one to identify if there is a 5-day residential retreat near you that could potentially work for this. And there are other options that we can discuss. So those are the 5 courses, and they're all listed online with links to their course descriptions. And again, if you have any questions specifically about any of the courses, feel free to contact me. Each course is 2 units, except for the 5th course, which is the 225 course. That one is 3 units. That one is the integration, mindfulness, really integrating mindfulness in healthcare practice. It's a practicum type course, and but they're all wonderful courses and with amazing faculty. So your career opportunities. So this advanced certificate will support you in gaining skills and knowledge to be a dedicated leader, creating and evaluating mindfulness-based interventions and programs in your healthcare practice settings. And this really is the essence of how we might, go about and becoming ambassadors of mindfulness, really integrating this work into our practice as healthcare practitioners. And that may be in direct patient care. It may be with our colleagues and with our teams, and enhancing relationships where we work. So I think that's it there. Again, if there's any other questions you might have, I feel like mindfulness is such a wonderful marriage with healthcare and occupational therapy, because as healthcare practitioners, we integrate things really well in our work. And so really bringing mindfulness into our work makes it very practical and very useful. So especially when it's brought from a very authentic place of your own personal practice, then it's done with care and humility. And I think it's a powerful combination. Let me just make sure I did skip one. So let's just make sure. Okay. So the overview of the program, it's an 11-unit program. It's $525 per unit. So knowing that you're not needing to pay for this in one lump sum, that you would pay per course, and it's over a 2-year program or 2-year span. So knowing that the cost of the program would be extended over a couple of years, rather than needing to pay anything in one lump sum. Again, there's 4 online courses and then 1 5-day in-person residential training retreat. And we are working to, make sure that the setting that we are in is of reasonable cost, and maybe has some, different cost levels for people that need to keep costs down. So we are definitely making sure that we're finding a beautiful setting in the San Francisco Bay Area that can accommodate a variety of different needs, financial needs, etc. Okay, so I think I missed a slide. Where'd that one go? Okay, so admissions is now open. So what you will do is you go to Cal State Apply, and you'll declare your objective to enroll in the MBOT certificate program. Everything gets submitted online, so you'll have a transcript with a 2.5 GPA or higher from an undergraduate program, a personal statement, a letter of intent, a copy of your resume, completion of an 8-week MBOSR course, which, by the way, does not need to be complete by the time you apply for the program. So let's say you apply the moment, even if it's right before the admissions closes on June 1st, just so you know that for the fall. And let's say you apply towards the end of May and you're just getting started in the MBOSR program, that is fine. There will be a place on your application where you can, just what you're going to do is just stipulate the date at which you'll have that completed by. And if you have any questions about that, just email me and let me know. You'll also provide a proof of license as a healthcare professional from any accredited institution. And then we will work with, people one-on-one if they don't happen to have a license as a healthcare professional. Some people have not been working as a healthcare practitioner in the past year or two, and that's fine too. So just email me if you have any questions about that. And then proof of participation in an MBOT certificate orientation. And the code for that is mindfulness-based OT. And you'll just provide that as your proof of participation. Okay. So as far as any questions or comments, just feel free to email me at rochelle.mclaughlin@sjsu.edu if you have anything that came up that maybe I didn't cover. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you join us, and take care. Thank you so much.